Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our very first Homeownership 101 webinar brought to you by the New Home Experts and Neighborhood Loans. My name is Alex Vasquez. I am the VP of Sales for New Home Experts. On the call here today, we also have Jennifer Graff with the New Home Experts and Angelina Casiello with Neighborhood Loans. A little bit about myself. I've been in real estate for 5 years now. Previous to this, I worked at a large television network for 7 years, and I've been in sales and marketing pretty much my entire life. At New Home Experts, we're here to help buyers make the best decision when purchasing any kind of real estate. Our team of 5 agents has decades of experience with local and national builders, and more importantly, we know how to find the right home for you and your family and how to negotiate the best deal. With that being said, I'll pass the baton over to Jennifer Graff.
Thank you, Alex. Yes, hello, my name is Jennifer Graff. I'm actually the founder of the New Home Experts. I've been doing real estate for 20 years, which is a little scary, but I founded the New Home Experts about 4 years ago, having worked with some of the larger national builders, including D.R. Horton and Lennar. I really felt strongly about the fact that buyers really do need their own representation when walking into that builder. So when I established the New Home Experts, I was really thinking about how we could best represent the buyer in the transaction. And so that's how we got our start. Also, I want to again introduce Angelina Casiello with Neighborhood Loans. She's going to be walking us through the pre-qualification process, which is, of course, the very first step in purchasing that brand new home.
Hi guys, thanks for having me here. I have started in the real estate world, is where I began in 2005. So I'm right behind you there, Jennifer. And then I transitioned over to mortgage, and I've been solely focusing on mortgage for the past 5 years. So I love, customizing a plan for you. I love the math and I love word problems. So bringing all those things together to break it down and simplify the process, that's my job. So I look forward to working with you guys, and I look forward to getting this going.
Excellent. Well, let's get this party started. Thank you both very much. One of the questions we get asked the most is, why buy now, right? As real estate agents, we hear this all day long. Here on the screen, you can see some of the highlights and some of the advantages of purchasing at this precise moment. 30-year fixed interest rate. You can, of course, earn your own equity. More importantly, stop making your landlord rich. Historically low interest rates. We have never seen interest rates this low. My broker says that it's almost like borrowing free money. And based on current market conditions, anticipation of future pricing increase, right? So you lock in the price, you lock in the rate, and then you're just enjoying that equity after that. Jennifer Graff is now going to tell us the advantages of buying a new home.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. And first question, of course, is why buy new? Is because it's brand new, right? So you're going to be the very first person to ever get the keys and to ever enjoy living in that brand new home. There's something so magnificently exciting about that it's really hard to compete with any other type of home purchase. A lot of other really great reasons to buy new. One is most of the time you get to pick all of your own upgrades and really customize the home to what you are looking for. Brand new homes are a lot more energy efficient, so the cost of ownership is going to be a lot less. Your water bills, your heating bills, and cooling bills, of course, out here in Las Vegas, important, and of course, those bills are going to be a lot less. Technology, all of these brand new homes are equipped with the latest technology. There's a bumper-to-bumper 1-year warranty on the entire property. If anything goes wrong, call customer service and they're there to fix it for you. Another great benefit is floor plans really built for the way that we live today. Even in the last year with COVID, starting, I guess, almost a year ago now, last March, some of the builders have already changed some of their floor plans to accommodate kids working from home, right? So you've got a little space for your kids to set up their computer, work from home. A lot of us, of course, are working from home with a home office. So the builders are really keeping in mind how we are living right now and are really building floor plans that are appropriate for that kind of living. And most importantly, as Alex mentioned earlier, with interest rates so low, there is so much competition here in Las Vegas. Inventory is really tight. And with buying a brand new home, you have a lot less competition from other buyers. So that's an important point as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that, Jennifer. In the next slide, we're going to discuss the home buying process. And here's 4 quick points of what this looks like. First and foremost, you've come to the right place. The New Home Experts. We're happy to help you anytime. And of course, allowing us to represent you throughout this process. After that, it's important to get pre-qualified with neighborhood loans. Of course, Angelina is here on joining us on the call. She would then discuss your personal finances. That way you know your budget, and of course we stick to it. Jennifer, will you please elaborate on the other 2?
Yeah, this is my favorite part, which is let's go shopping. So once we get that budget in mind, of course, is really kind of what you want to spend. Now comes the fun part where we really go out and have some fun identifying that perfect brand new home for you. Once we do that, of course, you're going to go to contract, any earnest money deposits. Then through that process, you're going to keep in touch with Angelina, myself, and Alex, all the way through number 4, which is going to be to close on your brand new home, get those keys from the builder, and move in. So we'll have a lot more detail going on, but that's pretty much the gist of the home buying process.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, Angelina, will you please give us an idea of what the financials look like when you're renting versus when you're buying?
Sure. So what I love about this illustration right here, of course, we're going to customize a loan for you, is that Las Vegas is one of those markets that is really affordable still to buy. So when compared to rent, you know what? Buying is really the answer. So this example just breaks down a $350,000 home with 5% down. You're looking at about a payment of about $1,800 a month. Now, Alex, on average, what would you say, and I know it's going to depend on the neighborhood you live in, how much does it cost to rent a $350,000 home?
As you said, it varies, but we see anywhere from $1,600 to up to $2,000.
Wow. So I think, honestly, people really should need to start thinking about buying if they're not already because of the value there. And just to give you an idea of how low rates are, when I bought my first home, I know I'm dating myself, interest rates were around 6%. So if you were to wait for rates to change, your buying power is really going to decrease because at 6%, that same home is going to cost you about $600 more a month.
That's a lot.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge difference.
Definitely a lot. So the next slide, please.
So I like this slide too because it really illustrates that appreciation that you guys have been talking about. Now, you guys both work with listings, I assume too, so you sell homes as well. Mm-hmm. On average, what are you seeing for somebody that had bought a couple of years ago and are now selling their home? What kind of appreciation are you starting to see for those people?
Well, during the last year, it's been recorded at 7.6% estimated at, and I know you're a little conservative on that, so I'll let you talk more on that.
Yeah, so I like to be a little bit conservative. So if we use that same example of buying a house at $350,000, and let's say you live in that house for 7 years, and each year you've got about 5% appreciation, you know, maybe a little more, a little less. So we'll say on average 5%. Over that period of time, you're going to build over $215,000 in equity. So to me, being the numbers person, when I look at that number, I go, wow. You know, you got to buy. You can't afford not to buy, really.
Absolutely right. And one of the things we see is a lot of these situations with current homeowners, right, that are saying, oh, pardon me, sensors going out. We do see some of these situations where people have anywhere from $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 equity. And of course, they can roll that into their next home as well.
Yeah. And I mean, when you rent, how much appreciation do you get there? How much equity do you earn there?
You have a big zero at the bottom.
Goose eggs.
Exactly.
Now, in the hunt, what does this home search look like, Jennifer?
Okay, so getting into the hunt, which would be, of course, after Angelina gets you all qualified and gets you through.
I know. Do you guys have any questions about qualifying, though? Do you want to know, like, what credit score you need or anything like that? Does anybody want to know that?
Yeah, no, I would absolutely love to know about credit score, and then tell us a little bit more too about the kind of the down payment, because I see on the slide you have 5% down. What if we don't have 5% down? What are some of the programs that are available?
Okay, so starting out, like if you're a first time home buyer, you can get into a home with as little as 3% down. We even actually have down payment assistance. Different programs have different qualifications, but right now to start out, we're looking at a 620 FICO score. And what people don't realize, it's actually easier to qualify for a home than it is to qualify for a credit card. And that's because we are basically lending you money based on the collateral, which is the property. So if you don't pay, we have an asset. When you go get a credit card, usually it's unsecured. So you can typically get into a home easier than you can into a credit card.
What kind of credit score do you need to purchase a home, Angelina?
Starting at 620. Although I will tell people, if maybe you're not sure how your credit is, maybe you think your credit's not very good, there are some tips and tricks I can give you to get you on a plan to be successful and able to buy a home. It may be, some people it might be 3 months, it might be 6 months, but at least, start somewhere.
And I know you mentioned a little bit about how much capital is needed. What are some of the costs once you acquire the mortgage? What are some of the costs that make up that mortgage?
Yeah, so the mortgage payment's going to consist of the principal and interest, your taxes, your insurance, and in some cases, if you put less than 20% down, you're going to have PMI. So your payment, we live in a day of acronyms, so I say PI, TI is what you can expect your payment to consist of.
Now, what documents do buyers need to process that mortgage?
So we put together a little buyer's packet for everybody. So I don't want to bore you with all the details, but just know this, we will walk you through it. It'll be step by step, and it's easier to buy a home than it is to get a credit card sometimes. So let's go on to the fun stuff and go shopping.
Let's do it.
Okay. The hunt. Okay. So after Angelina has you all pre-qualified, that really means now that we have a number to work with. So one of the first things we're going to do when we meet with you, is really decide, prioritize really. So what's the most important, say 5 or 6 things to you? And it might be the location of the home. It might be your children need to be in a specific school district. Maybe it's something with the location as far as your commute to work. In some cases, there might be the most important thing that you need a certain amount of bedrooms and bathrooms, square footage, a certain size backyard. All of these things we're going to talk about before we even go out and start looking. So there's so much going on here in Las Vegas. There's over 270 new communities going up in our valley right now. So what we really want to do is keep it narrowed down as best we can so we can find you that brand new home faster. Once we identify that brand new home, then in between, once we get you kind of set up under contract, whether it's a quick move-in or something that might not be ready for 3 to 6 months, we really ask that you keep in constant communication with Alex and I as your sales representatives, and then of course keeping in touch with Angelina as well. And then through the process, like I said, there's a lot of things that happen, whether it's a frame walk or picking upgrades or certain things in the financing. So we absolutely ask that all of our clients speak up, ask questions, get us on a text. We're always going to be available to you because we're really there to guide you through the entire process.
Absolutely. And the next slide, thank you so much for that, Jennifer, is precisely this. The process, what are the similarities and differences between buying new and resale? Now, we won't get into all the details and bore you with this, but the primary ones and the more important ones are, of course, picking a lot. Some people come to us and say, hey, do I pick one facing north, south, east, west? Do I purchase a little bit larger corner lot and invest a little more for that investment as well? Solidify the upgrades, right? Walking through the design center, being able to truly semi-customize your home is something that's of course one of the neat experiences that we get to witness with new home buyers. And as Jennifer just mentioned, we're here to help guide you from our first meeting all the way through handing you the keys. Now, that being said, Angelina, once we're in this process of a buyer purchasing a home, will you elaborate on what a buyer should and more importantly should not do when purchasing a home?
Yeah, sure. So when we qualify you for a mortgage, we're going to look at your income and we're going to look at your debts. And ultimately, we're going to give you a number to go shopping with. So we don't want things to change. So really, I mean, unless I tell you to do something, try not to do anything. Just keep doing what you're doing, paying your bills on time, paying your rent on time, and just really don't change anything. I mean, if you've got that entrepreneurial spirit and you want to start your business, just wait until after your loan closes if we're using that income to qualify you. So really, if you have, when in doubt, ask a question. I would much rather you ask a question. There's no stupid
No blue
questions.
car,
Don't
right?
make a mistake. Yeah, exactly.
And Angelina, I notice here too on the do not, which is in very bold red down here, which is actually kind of surprising, is don't pay off any debts. So that's an interesting one. Can you just delve into that a little bit? Kind of like, 'cause people think, oh, well, why wouldn't I pay this off, right? If I need to, or, you know,
Well,
that's just a surprising one.
I think the biggest thing that happens when people go and pay off debt is they're using money that was earmarked for a down payment. And so if I qualify you based on that money that we need for you to buy the house, and then it's no longer there, you better hope you've got a rich uncle or someone that wants to give you a gift, because we need that money.
And that's actually another great question I actually want to ask before with the down payment. I know for most loans, you can put as little as 3% down. Is that correct?
That is true. And gifts are allowed. So depending on the loan program, everything's unique. But if you want to buy a house, I'm very creative. So if you've got some, you know, maybe somebody in the family wants to help.
A very complicated word problem.
I love those, you know, Susie's tough.
I don't.
Yep, that's my jam.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Also, keep this on your refrigerator, everybody, right? Because this is an important document.
Please.
You're going to be quizzed on this after. I'm just kidding. And then the next slide, please. More importantly, stop making your landlord rich, right? I believe we maybe have spoken about it briefly, but imagine living in a house, making rent payments for 7 years, and once that contract is up and you're boxing your stuff and you're walking away, guess how much you're walking away with? Goose eggs, right? On the other hand, if you were a homeowner and you're walking away after 7 years, you're not walking away, but selling your home, moving out onto bigger and better things, guess what? You're probably getting a big fat check and a lot of equity, right? That you built up over the years for yourself and for your family. So stop making your landlord rich. Again, we're the new home experts and Angelina with Neighborhood Loans. Should you have any questions, our contact information is on screen. We're here to help you and guide you through any and all of your real estate needs. That's a wrap for this webinar. We look forward to helping you all, and please reach out to us to schedule individual one-on-one appointments. Thank you all and have a great day. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.